Welcome back to Hall of Fame Stadium here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as we start our second game of the day between WTS Softball out of Lancaster, California, and Bill Fraley's Wildcats out of Lexington, Kentucky. Right now, the Fraley's Wildcats have a 2-0 advantage in the series, looking to close it out with a sweep here. And up first for WTS will be Joyce Lopez, the left center fielder. The pitcher for Fraley's Wildcat is Jose Conlon. And it's a quick 2-0 count to Joyce Lopez, the left center fielder. A called strike. Make the count 3-1 now. Steps into it, a line drive into dead center field. Left center fielder for Fraley's Wildcats, Lee Ann Bowen with the catch on the grounder up the middle. So that'll be a single for Joyce Lopez to start it off for WTS. And that'll bring up the second hitter, number 42, the pitcher, Beth Arnold. Takes the first pitch for a ball. And the second one is called a strike just on the inside corner of the plate. .21 on the count. Another pitch outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. The runner on first is Joyce Lopez. Called strike there, so it'll be full count. To the pitcher, Beth Arnold. Steps into this one. Shallow pop fly to right center. And they're going to gun her out as Joyce Lopez only ran halfway. Thought the right center fielder was going to catch it. And a great play by the right center fielder for Fraley's, Mindy Hardison, to gun her out at second base. So Beth Arnold with the hit, but Joyce Lopez out at second for the force out and the first out of the inning. Sharply hit ball to the shortstop. Shortstop steps on second and not able to turn the double play as Melissa Perez able to run that one out. So with 2 outs in the top of the first, that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, number 69, the right center fielder, Ariana Ramirez.
Good call by the official there at first base. It was a close one, but it looked like the runner was safe, and that's the call that's going to be made. So 2 outs with Ramirez at the plate.
So 3-0 count to Ramirez. 2 outs. Runner on first is Melissa Perez. There's a called strike. 31's the count now. And that'll be ball 4 as Ariana Ramirez takes the walk. Melissa Perez will move to second base, and that'll bring up the 5th hitter, number 32, the designated hitter, Mary Nunez.
Nunez, not a lot of playing time so far this tournament. Last game they played against him, they stepped in at the last inning.
3-0 is the count now. Two straight strikes. That'll make it full count with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Nunez hits a line drive, 1 hops to the second baseman for Fraley's, Carrie Cobb. She flips it over to the shortstop, Amanda Brown, for the force out at second, and that'll end the inning. So, 2 hits, no runs, no errors for WTS. That'll make the score 0-0. When we come back, Fraley's Wildcats will be up to bat. You're watching women's softball on ASAsoftball.com. And we're back here in Oklahoma City at Hall of Fame Stadium. Our second game of the day. After no runs in the first inning for WTS, they're out in the field, and Fraley's will start at the top of the lineup with the shortstop, Amanda Brown. She grounds one back to the pitcher, off her glove, able to recover and make the throw to first. A nice play by the pitcher for WTS, Beth Arnold, to get the out at first. And that'll bring up the left center fielder, number 11 for Fraley's Wildcats, Lee Ann Bowen. A grounder up the middle. Bowen will round first, but stay there. A nice single for her first hit of the day, and that'll bring up the three-hole hitter, number 8, third baseman, Amanda Wright. Inside pitch, she pulls down the third base line into the stands. Strike one, the count 1-1, one out, with Lee Ann Bowen on first base. A line drive to left center field, and the left center fielder for WTS, Joyce Lopez, on the catch. That'll hold Lee Ann Bowen at first. Record the second out. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, number 34, the DH, Pam Young. Pam Young hits a deep fly ball to left center over the left center fielder's head. Leanne Bowen rounding second, being waved home, and Bowen will walk in to home for the first run for Fraley's Wildcats, and Pam Young with a stand-up double.
Yeah, it's Joyce Lopez out there in left center, and she got over her head. She went back and finally picked it up near the fence, throws it back to the cutoff, shortstop number 2, Casey O'Neill, and it went over her head. That allowed the run to come in for Bill Fraley's Wildcats.
Now, Bowen was on her horse as she rounded second, knowing she had a chance to score. Third base coach waving her home, and there was no problem after missing the cutoff man for WTS. Leanne Bowen able to walk home for the first run of the game. Called strike, count 1-1 with 2 outs. Runner on second is Pam Young, the DH. Called strike there. 22 is the count. A line drive to left center. And the left center fielder for WTS, Joyce Lopez, takes one step back, puts her gloves up, and records the third out, but not before one run crosses the plate. After the first, Fraley's Wildcats 1, WTS Softball 0. We'll be back for the top of the second inning in a moment. We're back here at Hall of Fame Stadium, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm Jacob Chastain, joined with my astute colleague, Bryant Ward. Top of the second inning, we're going to start the WTS softball off with the 6-hole hitter, number 22, the second baseman, Bree Pimentel. A high fly ball hit the short, shallow left field. And the left fielder for Fraley's error there, LaDonna West, tried to make the basket grab, hit the back of her palm, popped out of the glove. So that's an error for LaDonna West. And Bree Pimentel on first base, so with no outs, Runner on first, that'll bring up the shortstop, number 2, Casey O'Neill.
Strike comes in on O'Neill. She'll swing at that pitch, and it's going to go straight to the second baseman. They get it to the shortstop, try to turn the double, not quick enough to come around and get O'Neill out at the one bag. But Pimentel will be out at second. Brings up Karen Garcia.
Watches the first pitch hit the plate for a strike. Count 0-1, 1 out, and now Casey O'Neill on first base. A high fly ball to center field, and a great catch made by left center fielder Lee Ann Bowen, showing off her speed and the cannon of an arm, throwing back to first to get Casey O'Neill the double play. So Lee Ann Brown with a heads-up play, catching the shallow fly ball to left center field and showing the arm off, throwing it to first baseman Gina Dennis for the double play. So after 1.5 innings, it's Fraley's Wildcats 1, the WTS Softball Crew 0. You're watching Women's Softball, ASAsoftball.com.
Coach Bill Fraley coming to take third base as the third base coach. A little bit of trouble over in the dugout at the WTS softball crew. The players rush off the field heading towards the dugout. Bill Fraley, a great coach in the Hall of Fame here in Oklahoma City at the third base. Ready to wave some more players in. He's just got 1 run on the board, but they already have 2 victories. And the defense that you saw moments ago shows why this team is so powerful in these tournaments.
Up to bat right now is the right fielder, number 6, Kathy Taylor. Count 1-0. After that pitch, it's 1-1, just as it goes right over the plate. Outside pitch for ball 2. Count 21. Kathy Taylor gets a little bit ahead of that one as she pulls it right into the stands right next to third base. I'll make the count deuces, 22. It's an outside pitch she really wanted to get a hold of. This one nice. Right to third baseman for WTS. Gets right up into her belly. And the third baseman for WTS, Shauna Fisher, not able to make the play. So that's going to be a base hit for Kathy Taylor. A base hit by number 23, Gina Dennis, in between short and third. That's going to go all the way to the fence. Kathy Taylor's going to come all the way from first and walk in for the score. And Gina Dennis has a stand-up double to now make the score 2-0 for Fraley's Wildcats. Now up to the plate, number 35, the left fielder, LaDonna West. She pulls it to third base, able to get it out of her glove. Gunner out at first. A nice play by third baseman, 0-0, Shauna Fisher, to record the first out of the inning and also keep Gina Dennis held at second base.
So that'll bring up to the plate a pitcher, Jose Conlon. Listed as Rosanna Conlon in the program. And see strike one. Hernandez will pick it up and toss it back to the pitcher, Beth Arnold.
A line drive to center field. And Jose Conlon safe at first. Gina Dennis moving over to third, and that'll bring up the 10-hole hitter, number 12, the catcher, Amy Ellis. 1 run, or 1 out, 2 runners on for Amy Ellis. Now up to bat, number 3, the right center fielder, Mindy Hardison. Runners on second and third. 2 outs for Fraley's Wildcats. Already picking up another run this inning. Inside pitch, he pulls it to the third baseman, Shauna Fisher. A great snag. And the throw to first will end the inning. So after 2 innings, Fraley's Wildcats up 2-0.
That'll do it for the top half, or the second inning. Will be going into the third right now, but we're going to go off air for just about 60 seconds to make a change. We might need to refresh your page here in just a moment to get the third inning. So we'll be back right here on ASAsoftball.com.
We missed that last inning as WTS came up to bat, but Eden Hernandez, the catcher, grounded out to shortstop for the first out. The first baseman, Natalie Betancourt, flew out to left field, and Shauna Fisher grounded out to the second baseman. So it's 3 up, 3 down. Now Fraley's Wildcats up to bat at the bottom of the third. Top of the lineup now, number 22, the shortstop, Amanda Brown, up to bat. Count 1-1 already.
Wildcats doing an excellent job on both offense and defense there. They get a nice hit. Second baseman, that one is going to be sent back to the one bag for out number 1. 2 straight innings of 3 up, 3 down for the Wildcats out in the field, doing a great job in getting those outs, and then they come back in, lighten the bats up, 2 runs in, 1 in each inning, looking to even it out for another one. This inning there gets a shot in the gap, caught off the bounce by the right center fielder for WTS softball crew.
There's another hit for Leanne Bowen. Leanne Bowen with a single in the first to right center, and now a single in the third to right center as well. Do you remember last inning? She scored all the way from first on a Pam Young double for the first run of the game. Puts herself back pretty much in scoring position for her. A line drive hit to the third baseman, Shauna Fisher. And Shauna Fisher showing some great defensive prowess out there at third base. And they're going to get Leanne Bowen at second for the double play, as Leanne Bowen got a little too far off second, and the first baseman for WTS, Natalie Betancourt, throws it to the shortstop, Casey O'Neill, for the tagout, the double play. So that'll end the inning at the end of 3. WTS 0, Fraley's Wildcats 2. You're watching women's softball on ASAsoftball.com.
WTS softball crew here to begin the fourth inning. Joyce Lopez, leadoff batter, the left center fielder.
Joyce is 1 for 1 in the day, and the count now 1-1. Make that 2 for 2 as she singles up the middle, a ground ball up the middle. And Joyce Lopez will be on first base, bringing up number 42, the pitcher, Beth Arnold, who singled to right center field in the first.
Looking to capitalize on a base runner here as they've fallen twice to Bill Fraley's Wildcats. Trailing by 2 in the fourth.
Count at 1-1, and Beth Arnold slaps one down the first base line just out of reach of first baseman Gina Dennis. That'll advance Joyce Lopez to second, and Beth Arnold, a single down the right field line, will be at first, and that'll bring up Melissa Perez, the right fielder.
Dennis was not able to get down on that ball as it was right by the bag. A quick shot. We'll see ball one come across. And a strike, so 1-1 for Perez.
1-2 the count. Runners on first and second, no outs for WTS softball crew out of Lancaster, California. Back to the pitcher. Throws it to the third baseman. Third baseman having trouble wanting to turn the double play there, but it's a 1-5 put out there. Getting the lead runner. So with 1 out, runners on first and second. That'll bring up the right center fielder, number 69, Ariana Ramirez.
Conlon knew exactly where she wanted to place the ball if it came back to her to get that lead runner, and she was real quick to turn and get it over to the third baseman for Fraley's Amanda Wright and get that lead runner off the bags.
Ariana Ramirez, a line drive to right field. Right fielder Kathy Taylor able to get it in quickly. But another base hit for Ariana Ramirez as the bases are now loaded for the 5-hole hitter, the DH, Mary Nunez.
Nunez will take the first strike.
Count 1-1. Nunez turns on this one. It's a slow roller to the shortstop. Throws it over to the third baseman to get the force out. But the lead runner, Beth Arnold, will score. And that'll cut Fraley's Wildcats lead to 2-1. So number 22 comes up to bat. The second baseman, Bree Pimentel.
Bree coming out of Riverside, California, and gets a nice rip down the left field line behind the left fielder for Fraley's, LaDonna West.
Both runners from first and second will score as Ariana Ramirez comes home, as does Mary Nunez. A 2-run double for Bree Pimentel, which now gives WTS softball crew the 3-2 lead. So with 2 outs, runner on second, that'll bring up the shortstop, number 2, Casey O'Neill. You can see the wind picking up here as the dust from the infield coming up.
Might try to get some water on this field in between games for our next game, which is going to be at 11:30. Moving on to another class of women's softball. It'll be Juice versus the Armed Forces. Second time in this game we've seen Casey O'Neill getting dirty. She slid back into first earlier after a pop fly was caught, and she was called out. This time she slides into second and will be safe at the 2 bag. Garcia will watch the first pitch go by for ball 1. Steps and watches the second pitch come by. It's a strike, 1-1 the count. Inside for ball 2. Swings at the 4th pitch, and it's going to slip through both the pitcher and the shortstop. O'Neill going to come around, and this time she doesn't have to slide. She will walk across home plate. And that's going to add another run to the softball crew's score. Great shot by Garcia, slipping it right past both Conlon and Brown.
It's a great 2-out rally that WTS has going right now. Called strike there. Count now 1-1 with Karen Garcia on first. A high fly ball to left field. LaDonna West on route. Could not make the catch. They're going to wave Karen Garcia home. And that's a double for Eden Hernandez, the catcher, and an RBI double at that, as Karen Garcia is able to go from first all the way home.
Increasing that lead for WTS as they have to struggle to stay in this tournament, as they are down by 2 wins, and it's best of 5, so the first to win 3.
That's a bloop single for Natalie Betancourt, and that bloop single will bring in another run as Eden Hernandez, the catcher from second base, scores. So in this inning alone, the WTS softball crew have come up with 7 runs in the top of the 4th.
Another nice rip to shallow left field, and that's going to advance the runners. Betancourt will go to second, and Fisher with the hit puts her on first. So we're up to the top of the lineup. Joyce Lopez back to the plate.
She started it all off this inning with a single up the middle, and now Fraley's in a bit of a jam here, giving up 7 runs so far in this 4th inning. With WTS having a hit parade here. Just singles here, doubles here, nothing bigger than a double. They did have a base-clearing double by Casey O'Neill. Actually, excuse me, Bree Pimentel, the second baseman, hits a double, a 2-run double. Runners on first and second. And Ariana Ramirez and Mary Nunez able to score, which started it off. Casey O'Neill then hit a double, which scored Bree Pimentel. Karen Garcia with a single, which scored Casey O'Neill. Eden Hernandez a double, which scored Garcia. And now we've had 2 singles by Betancourt and Fisher. Betancourt single scoring Eden Hernandez. Those 7 runs right now. And now WTS has a 5-run advantage. Top of the 4th with 2 outs, runners on first and second, and Joyce Lopez up to bat. Short blooper into center field. And they're going to wave Betancourt home from second base. She will score another run on the board for WTS softball crew. An RBI single for Joyce Lopez. So now runners on first and second, Shauna Fisher and Joyce Lopez, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Beth Arnold.
WTS racking up the RBIs. By the end of this game, we might have every player have at least one of them. See a ball come across the plate. Arnold.
Beth Arnold hitting 2 for 2 on the day. Two-one count with 2 outs. Arnold with the swing, slaps it to right field, and that's going to be a fair ball. Another run will come home for WTS as Shauna Fisher goes from second to home for another run. Joyce Lopez from first to third, and a single, RBI single for Beth Arnold, the pitcher.
Arnold 3 for 3 now on the day. Brings up Perez.
Perez is 0 for 2 on the day, but she gets her first hit right there, an RBI single for Perez. Runners advancing to second, and Joyce Lopez coming home.
Excellent inning for WTS, and we'll have a pitcher change. Just going to swap out the pitcher and catcher, so we'll see Amy Ellis move on up from behind the plate to the rubber, and Conlon will go behind plate.
And right now, WTS has scored 7 runs with 2 outs. A great rally by the Lancaster crew, managed by Leslie Irvin. WTS now with runners on first and second. And the cleanup hitter, number 69, right center fielder, Ariana Ramirez, will come up. She is 1 for 1. Also has a walk on the day. So with 2 outs, runners on first and second. A called strike there. A high fly ball. LaDonna West with her back. Her first step was back, not charging on the ball able to drop, so that's a single for Ariana Ramirez, an RBI single, as Beth Arnold comes from second and is able to score.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go a little deeper, and that's what LaDonna West was expecting out there, the wind to carry it a little bit, but it shot up and then just cut straight down, and no one was able to get to it as the ball fell, and that will add another run to the WTS score.
Score now 11-2 for WTS. And up to bat now, number 32, the DH, Mary Nunez. That's a 2-0 count. Runners on first and second for WTS. And we get the first strike.
Most of these runs coming off of after 2 outs. We've been sitting at the 2-out mark for several batters.
She pops one up to shallow center field. Right center fielder moving up, not able to catch it. There's going to be a play at the plate. And Melissa Perez able to beat the tag. Runners advance. Mary Nunez goes to second, and Ariana Ramirez will be at third. So another run comes home, and Melissa Perez beating the throw home, which will make the score 12-2 WTS softball.
That'll bring up Sabrina Pimentel.
Sabrina Pimentel hit a double earlier this inning. A 2-run double. Right now, if she hits another double, that would be another 2 runs. With 2 outs, the runners will be moving with the crack of the bat.
Strike comes across. Hits it deep center over both of the outfielders, and that's going to be another 2-run double for Pimentel, bringing up Casey O'Neill.
So right now this inning, Bree Pimentel is 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs. Both hits are doubles. And right now, WTS has scored 14 runs here in the fourth inning to take a 14-2 lead in the top of the fourth. 11 of those coming with 2 outs on the board. And a nice snag by third baseman for Fraley's. That would be Amanda Wright. That will end the inning. They could not stop the bleeding with 2 outs, and WTS is able to put 14 runs on the board on 14 hits. They'll go out on the field. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
I started playing ASA when I was 12 years old. ASA gave, I think, all of us an avenue to play growing up and gave us places to excel. Lots of games, the best competition, great coaching, so it's kind of been an avenue for all of us to grow as players.
And giving me the chance to prepare at a high level.
ASA was crucial in my career as far as building myself as an athlete, and I think my teammates also.
Get your start in a sport that lasts a lifetime. Play ASA.
Last inning, top of the fourth. WTS able to make a nice little surge there. 15 hits and 14 runs as they almost bat through the order twice. And they now have a 14-2 lead going into the bottom of the fourth. And up to bat now for the home team, Fraley's Wildcats out of Lexington, Kentucky, would be the DH, number 34, Pam Young.
Wildcats with a disappointing defensive inning there, giving up 14 runs. Now going to come in and try to put some runs of their own on the board, trailing by 12.
Pam Young is 1 for 1 of the day, hitting a double, an RBI double in the first inning. A nice snag by the left fielder for WTS. That is Karen Garcia out there diving forward to make the basket catch on the ground. Right now, everything clicking for WTS as they have a 12-run advantage in the bottom of the fourth. Now up to bat for Fraley's will be the second baseman, number 3, Carrie Lobb. Lobb is 0 for 1 on the day, lining out to the shortstop in the first inning for the third out of the first. As she takes ball 3, 3-0 count. There's a strike come across the plate, so now it's 31. Hard hit ball to third baseman Shauna Fisher. And a great play by the first baseman. First baseman Natalie Betancourt. The throw a little off by Shauna Fisher, but Natalie Betancourt able to grab the ball and tag the runner as she crossed.
Yeah, it was just a little off target, and she had to step off the bag, so had she not been smart and quick enough to reach over and tag the base runner, then it would have been a safe play. But that's going to be out number 2. Now at the plate for Fraley's.
Number 6, the right fielder, Kathy Taylor. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs, nobody on. And Kathy Taylor is not had a hit today. A soft fly ball to left center, and the left center fielder, Joyce Lopez, able to make a run on it. So it's 3 up, 3 down for Fraley's Wildcats. WTS will come back in and try to build a little more of a lead as they are up 14-2 after 4. We'll be back in a moment.
Softball is such a great sport to be involved in.
Jenny Finch, future Olympian for the ASA.
I started playing softball at the age of 5. Every weekend I played 8 to 10 games, and ASA allowed me to develop my skills through those games. If you want to be a future Olympian, you need to play in the ASA softball program, the national governing body of softball in the United States.
ASA Softball, the game America plays.
We're back, Hall of Fame Stadium here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And after 4, WTS, which is in a 2-0 deficit in the series column, has a 14-2 lead over Fraley's Wildcats. And WTS back up to bat at the top of the fifth with Karen Garcia, the left fielder, as she watches ball one go by. Nice pitch there right over the middle for strike one. Count 1-1. Inside ball there. 21's the count. It's a high fly ball to deep center field. Left center fielder Lee Ann Bowen camps underneath it for the first out. And that'll bring up number 31, the catcher, Eden Hernandez, who in the last inning, a 2-run double. Right now with no one on, she just wants to get on base, maybe start another rally for WTS softball crew out of Lancaster, California.
Fraley's just trying to keep the bats down for WTS, try and get these quick other 2 outs and come back and try and score on their own. 2 more chances, 3 more shots for Fraley's Wildcats to come in and score. Another error out there for the Wildcats. And left field, it's going to be LaDonna West having some trouble out there. Wind could be an issue. The dirt's flying. Kim Lira, number 24, is going to be the pinch hitter who will walk to first. So Natalie Betancourt, the first baseman, does not bat, and that will move us on down to Shauna Fisher.
Shauna Fisher's having a great defensive game today. I'd like to parlay that up with a great hitting game, going right now 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th inning. Runners on first and second, a high fly ball, but the second baseman for Fraley's Wildcats, Carrie Lobb, able to step back into the grass and make the catch. And that'll be 2 outs with runners on first and second. Joyce Lopez, 3 for 3 on the day. All 3 singles, all 3 punched right back up in the middle. This will be a line drive to right center fielder for Fraley's Wildcats. Mindy Hardison with the out. So with 1 hit, no runs, no errors, I'll make the score after 4.5, 14-2 WTS over Fraley's Wildcats. We'll be back in a moment.
Get on up and get on down to Hooters, the place to be for chicken wings. Come grab a beer, the kids on here, and the girl next door. Good friends and more. If you can't stop by, get our wings to fly. Hooters makes you happy. Right down the street, it's your neighborhood retreat. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Hooters, a sponsor of the ASA softball tournament. 2.5 innings remain in Game 3 of Class C.
Up to bat now, number